Welcome to yet another episode of The Apple's Questions, a series where we answer one Apple-related question each week. The question for today is, how does Apple Watch help with fitness? If you've watched the series, you know that I try to give a short answer at first. So, how to use it for fitness? Well, the short answer would be to put it on your wrist and start being active, do workouts, and so on. But yeah, it's different for everyone. The rings may be also a little bit confusing at times, so I'll go through all of this. Well, it all differs because we all have different fitness goals. However, let me talk about the most common ways how the watch can be used for fitness. Now let's go through them. The first one is calorie tracking. This is the red ring on your Apple Watch fitness app. Chances are that if you're interested in fitness, you want to either lose weight, maintain your current weight, or gain weight, most likely in the form of muscle. And based on that, you need to be in a caloric deficit, calorie maintenance, or caloric surplus. In the deficit, you pretty much eat less calories that you burn. In the maintenance stage, you just level it off and you just eat pretty much the same amount that you burn. And in the surplus, you are eating more than you burn each day. And this is where Apple Watch really shines. Let me also say that I'm not a licensed professional and everything regarding your health should be discussed and considered with your healthcare provider. I can only give you my experience with it. But this is what Apple Watch does really well. Tracking calories is pretty precise. Not 100% accurate, of course, but people usually assume that it's 80 to 90% accurate, and I still consider this to be really good. So you pretty much use the Apple Watch to see how many calories you burn during the day, and therefore know if you need to work out a bit more to be in a deficit and lose weight, or that you burned enough to maintain your weight. With the Apple Watch, you don't just guess how much you burned each day, you know almost precisely, assuming that you wear the watch the entire day. However, to make this number as accurate as possible, you need to keep your personal information updated. I'm talking about your current weight, height, age, and other things that Apple Watch needs to know. To do that, you need to open up the Health app on your iPhone, click on Browse at the bottom, then Body Measurements, and add your current information about your weight and height, of course. The watch uses it to determine the calories you burn, so this is very important. Apple Watch divides calories into two categories: active calories and total calories. Active are those that you burn actively doing sports, walking, moving, and generally being active. Total calories are all of the active calories we just mentioned, plus your basal metabolic rate, which is like all the calories that you need just to exist, like to digest food, breathe, and stuff like that. Active calories are displayed on the watch in the ring. It's the amount that you actively burned by exercising or doing other physical activity. Total calories can be found on the iPhone. Inside the fitness app, you click on the activity ring, and each day under the move, you can see the total amount of calories. So that's how you have an idea and pretty precisely know that how many calories you burned during the day. It counts in all of the things about you, and it just gives you like a result and the number that you know after each day how many calories you totally burned during the day. But in order to keep your deficit, maintenance, or surplus, you not only need to know how many calories you burn during the day, but also how many you eat. So it's the famous calories in and calories out. This is crucial. And while the Apple Watch cannot know what you eat, you can still utilize it to help you with it. If you have a calorie tracking app on your iPhone, depending on which one you use, it may also have an Apple Watch version, like you can see here. On the screen, I have an app which I have on my iPhone as well, and it has a pretty good app on the watch, so I can check my protein goals, overall calories, and I can add foods, I can track whatever I eat and drink, and I can even have it as my complication to always see my calorie situation at a glance. So this is very important, this is how I use it, but it of course differs by the app that you decide to track your calories with. And also if you decide to do it at the first place. The next thing is exercise tracking. It is the green ring of the Apple Watch, rings that you see all the time. Well, let's say that you don't care about calories, but instead you are a runner, swimmer, or other athlete. You simply want to get better at your sport, you want to be faster. In this case, for your fitness endeavors, you may use the workouts app on your Apple Watch. There are basically all workouts you could think of, and even if not, you can make your own one, or choose something similar to what you're doing. This is great because if you start a workout, you get all the metrics like your pace, distance, kilometer updates, and other metrics like heart rate recovery, and other metrics that help you improve your performance. So if this is your goal and you consider this like your fitness journey, then of course the Apple Watch may be used like this. You start a workout, you click on the workout app, you click on running, and you simply use it like that and track your numbers, compare it, and see for yourself and try to get better with it. So every workout you do also adds to your green exercise ring. So this is how you effectively close it, but you don't necessarily need to start a workout manually to add to your exercise ring. The same thing applies to swimming and other sports that you may do. You can of course change the goals for individual workouts by clicking on the three dots and choosing calorie, time, open, or distance. By the way, I covered the entire topic of setting workout goals on Apple Watch in another video. It goes in depth, definitely check it out, it's down below. But also changing the goals for the day is possible. So on your Apple Watch in the fitness app, you go to the bottom of the page and click on change goals. Confirm those that you want to keep and change others. And we are moving on to the next thing, which is avoiding sedentary lifestyle. So if you're such a person that doesn't have a calorie goal, doesn't train professionally on, or doesn't have anything concrete in mind, just wants to be fitter in general, then this is where the third ring comes into play. The blue one, which is called a stand. This one is probably a little bit harder to understand at first, but once you do understand it, then it's pretty helpful in fact. Usually and by default, the goal is 12 hours of stand time. And no, it doesn't mean that you need to be on your feet for 12 hours straight, like 720 minutes. It just means that in the period of the 12 hours during the day when you're awake, each hour has to contain some physical activity. It may be just standing up and taking the trash out, or going for a walk, going downstairs to grab food. Whatever you do, just stand up on your feet and move for a while in order to count one more hour to the blue ring. The whole point is to make sure that it doesn't happen to you that you end up sitting the entire day on your couch. The watch will literally notify you that, hey, it's time to stand up, and that you need to move for a while to count those hours in. Like, it's really important to know that, because people usually don't understand the blue ring. But also the most important thing is to keep all of the circles in mind. Like, you need to also work out for a couple of minutes at least. You need to fulfill the calorie goal, but also just stand up during each hour. Like, if you try to keep your focus on the entirety of circles, then it's just going to be the best thing for your fitness. But there are also some other factors that come into this. When it comes to fitness, some other things like sleep tracking, for example, are important as well. Like the Apple Watch can for sure track sleep to a degree depending on which app you use, if you use like the built-in sleep tracker from Apple Watch. But yes, you get some degree of control. If you use, for example, Sleep Cycle, you get some information about that as well. But it's not necessarily the best fitness metric. It's simply a sleep tracking. But also what's great about the watch is the motivation factor. Well, like we talked about, there are the rings, which keep you motivated enough, and you can always just see and take a look at the app, how much progress you've made, and you know how long you need to work out and stuff like that. So it just keeps you motivating. It just makes you want to close the rings. You even get the notifications by the end of the day that, yes, you can still do it. You just need to go for a 12-minute walk and you're going to close your rings. So yeah, that's motivating as well. But you also have the fitness watch faces, which means that you don't even have to open up the app. You can just take a look at the watch to check the time, but it's unavoidable. You cannot just not see the rings in your progress there. It's just always there on the watch. So when you use a fitness watch face, it just always make sure that you keep those fitness goals in mind, and it's less likely that you forget about it. Also, there is this Nike Plus app for runners, but also it just comes down to like a niche of people which are in the running fitness journey or whatever. So yes, you can do that, but also the fact that there's literally another series of the Apple Watch which is just Nike and it's just for sports people. So yes, it's definitely a fitness device, but it just depends on what you want to do with it. Okay, but I'd say that this is pretty much the end. I really do hope that you found some information, something useful in this video. I really do hope that you also find it valuable, so if you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Of course, it helps, and make sure to also comment something. I will likely get back to you, so go ahead and do that, and we can see each other in the future. Have a great rest of the day, and thanks for watching, and just go ahead and be fit with your Apple Watch.